Good morning. I've come this morning to the River Lagan. Now I'm sure you're familiar with the Lagan, the river that runs through the very heart of Belfast. We live not far from the Lagan, so we're passing it all the time and are very familiar with the river. And some of you are very familiar too with the towpath at Stranmillis and would often take a stroll there. Now, in the days of my youth, when I was at school, we used to do rowing on the Lagan right here. And behind me you will see the weir. It's the old Lagan weir. And back in the days when I was at school, this is as far as you could come on the river. If you were rowing or canoeing or whatever, you couldn't get any further than here because of the weir. Nowadays, those who are engaging in water sport on the Lagan are able to go much further. They're able to go down to Pollock Basin and right into the heart of Belfast Harbour. Back in the day, the river was very dirty. Now, a lot of work has been done since then, just before lockdown. If you had been here, there were dredgers working away here on the Lagan, and of course all the work of the Lagan Side Corporation has made for a much cleaner river. However, suppose I were to text you on an afternoon like this and say, hey, how about if we meet up for a swim at the Lagan? Right here, at this point, on this little jetty opposite the ozone. What do you think about that? I mean, it's an ideal place in many ways, isn't it? There's gates and you could easily jump in here for a dip. Would you fancy it? Well, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. No. And it seems to me that in the Bible, in 2 Kings chapter 5, that the way you feel about going swimming in the Lagan is the way Naaman, the commander of the Syrian army, felt about going for a dip in the River Jordan. You know the story. Naaman has leprosy, a terrible disease. His wife has a little maid. She's a girl from Israel. She's a young girl of faith. And she suggests to Naaman that he should go and meet the prophet Elisha, the man of God. And Elisha will call on God, and God will cure him of his leprosy. And sure enough, Naaman sets off to Israel to meet with the Elisha. Elisha doesn't come out of the house to meet with Naaman, but he sends word, go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored, and you shall be clean. And what are we told? Listen to this. Naaman was angry and went away, saying, behold, I thought that he would surely come out to me and stand and call upon the name of the Lord his God, and wave his hand over the place and cure the leper. Are not Abana and Parpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all the waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be cleaned? So he went away in a rage. Well, his servants got to work, and they persuaded him to listen to the man of God. And so eventually Naaman comes to the River Jordan, and he dips in the river 7 times. And as he rises up on the 7th occasion, he looks at his skin, and it is clean. It is clean. What has happened? God, the only God, the true God, Jehovah, the God in whom Naaman's wife's little servant girl trusted, this God cured him of his leprosy. But there's more. Won't you read on later today in 2 Kings chapter 5? Take a look at the verses that follow on from Naaman dipping in the river. And you will see that Naaman is not only cured of his leprosy, but he's cured of his sin. He comes to a living faith in God. He comes to know God personally. He comes to trust in the Lord. To be cured of leprosy was a wonderful thing. But to know that our sins are all forgiven, this is the greatest thing. And I hope this morning that you know that for sure. That you're trusting in Jesus Christ and that you know today my sins are all forgiven. Oh, such a blessing. I hope this morning that you can rejoice with me and with others in this good news. Good morning.